So, The Strangers, Chapter 2. And I liked it. I know. I know. A lot of people have been giving it crap but I think I know the reason why. You see, if you saw The Strangers Chapter 1, which was I think a year ago, Chapter 2, this movie, is actually a movie that is continuing from where Chapter 1 left off. It's a direct sequel. It's a continuation straight through. It follows the survivor at the end of the last movie, the girl. Remember, it was a couple that they went to this cabin, to Airbnb, whatever, to enjoy their stay, and then the strangers came, right? The people with the masks, and they're like, "Oh, we here," and all that stuff, right? And they killed the fiance or boyfriend or whatever, and she ends up making it, okay? And you see her in the hospital recovering. I think you see that at the end of chapter 1 actually, but then in chapter 2 it just jumps right back into that. Okay? And apparently the strangers find out she's still alive. And early on I could tell who was one of them without the mask. I'm not gonna tell you. See the movie. See the movie. The whole movie basically is pretty much a chase to kill her from the beginning all the way to the very end. The whole movie is a big chase scene. It really is. It goes. She escapes from the hospital. He's chasing her in the hospital. Gave me Halloween 2 vibes. You know how empty and desolate that hospital was, and then she escapes the hospital, and then she goes to this place and they catch up with her there. She goes to that place, they catch up with her there, and then she's going here and they catch up. And then she runs into a couple of, I think, nurses from the hospital who try to take her in, which didn't make sense to me because they should have taken her straight back to the hospital, all right? She ends up in their house eventually at some point in the movie with these two guys. One of them was kind of weird, like kind of little, I don't know. I wouldn't stay in a room alone with this guy, especially you ladies. Bad thing. And one thing about him, he had a smiley face tattoo on his neck, a little one. And for some weird reason, I didn't understand what the significance of that was until the end of the movie. I saw something that kind of like signified that. As the movie goes on, it flashbacks to this little girl and this little boy that apparently she kind of liked him, and she kind of got jealous, and there was another girl involved in the playground during recess, while they were going to school. They were in their uniforms, and you start seeing some kind of countenance change in this little girl, and you see it in her eyes. And I swear, at one point she had like the deadest eyes. It looked scary. It reminded me of what Dr. Loomis said in Halloween, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. It was that look. If anything, it was that look. And I knew these were flashbacks because I think the purpose was to kind of give us, the audience, a sense of how the strangers had their origins. And I believe, if I'm not giving too much away here at all, but as you follow the movie, you kind of see where this goes when it comes to these kids. I think what pissed people off, and this is my opinion only, is that, and this is a mild spoiler, but screw it. I'm not giving anything detail oriented away from the movie. I just know that there's going to be a Strangers Chapter 3. The way it ended left everybody hanging, and people in the movie theater were like, "Oh, upset," and they were mad and everything. It was just so clear that was probably why people are saying this movie is bad, because I think people were liking the movie and they didn't want it to stop. They didn't want it to end. I didn't want it to end. I wanted to see a close to this thing. But then when I realized that this was going to continue in a movie to come out in the future, in the soon future, I understood the point. And people were mad about that, I think. And I think that's why they thought it sucked. It's kind of strange. I kind of compared it to when I first saw The Fellowship of the Ring, the first of the three Lord of the Ring movies. At the end of that movie, when it ended, people got upset also. They wanted the story to continue, and it did in The Two Towers and then ultimately in Return of the King. I think the same thing happened here with The Strangers. I thought it was fast paced, the suspense was incredible. You see this poor girl slowly start to change as they keep going after her. She comes to face, literally, with her grief, if I have to say, about who she lost and who these people are and what she is. I think, and this is the sense I'm getting, is what she's going to end up doing about it. They gave quick clips of chapter 3, so it's clear that it was already shot. So it's just a matter of them waiting till next year or at some point next year to release chapter 3. So get ready for that. I thought this was a good continuation from chapter 1, and I honestly don't know how this connects to the original Strangers with Liv Tyler all those years ago. I have a weird feeling that it doesn't, that this might be a complete rehashing, remake, start with a clean slate kind of thing, and doesn't even acknowledge that event. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I gotta look deeper into that. But I'm gonna give The Strangers Chapter 3 3 coffee cups. It kept me going. There was no burn. I felt like there was no slow burn or anything like that in this movie. I thought it was very good. So everything, take what I said without giving much away. Just go in there expecting to be a chapter 3 sometime next year. The way I thought about it was that, you know what? I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to keep it going, but a movie can only go so long, right? Especially a horror movie. There you have it. Strangers Chapter 3. Go watch it, come back, talk to me, let me know what you think of this particular movie. And, let the October festivities continue. It's October, it's Halloween time. And we got more horror movies to review here on Horror and Coffee. Until next time, take care.